Like I said, I mean, we appreciate everybody coming out today. You know, when there's a late Easter, you get through Easter, you get through Mardi Gras, and all of a sudden it feels like the tournament's on top of us, and that's kind of where we are right now. So it's coming quickly. A lot of other things going on in the sports world locally, so we appreciate you being able to take the time to get here and join us. You know, one thing I'd like to welcome or thank the Bayou District and Educare facility here for hosting us. I don't know how much everyone here knows about the facility, but I was lucky enough, before I took this job, I came in on a visit and they showed me the old St. Bernard housing project. I saw what was here. They explained some of the plans as to what they were going to do, and you look at the final product with the mixed income housing here at Educare with the early childhood education. You know, for those who don't know, the KIPP school, you know, K through 8 opened yesterday. And then with the new McDonough High School going to open, you know, you'll be able to go from 6 weeks old all the way through high school within a few block area here. So, you know, you look at the difference. You know, Fore Kids is very proud of our association with Bayou District and Educare. We were one of the early funders to help them get kicked off. We've got some Fore Kids members, Mike Rodriguez and others, who have worked incredibly hard to make this what it is. And you look at you know, the crime statistics and the impact on our area. I think it's kind of underrated. I think a lot of people aren't aware of what's taking place here. It's had an incredible impact on our city, and I think it's a great, you know, the results are great, and we're very proud of that association. I don't know if anybody noticed, but parallel to St. Bernard Avenue there, I parked on Fore Kids Drive. We're very proud of the fact that they named the street there for Fore Kids and some of our early support and that sort of thing. So it's something that our membership, who works very hard to raise money and impact our city, very proud of the association and being here. One of the noteworthy things that we'd like to touch on real quickly today, we are unveiling a new Zurich Classic trophy. We've had the same one for a very long time. We announced on Sunday of the tournament last year our extension with Zurich as a title sponsor through 2026. So we've got a long runway, and with that extension, we worked with Waterford Crystal. It was designed between Fore Kids, Zurich, and the folks in Ireland at Waterford Crystal to get something that kind of you know, captures the feel of the city and our area. And that sort of thing. So we're proud of the results. It just came in a few days ago, and we will unveil it. I think I started to show our winners, but I thought maybe that wouldn't we wouldn't go there. So we'll. Oh wow! But very happy with the results. I think it you know, fits the city. It's bigger than our old trophy. We feel like Waterford Zurich, everyone's very happy with it, and we will be presenting that to two guys on the 18th green this year. So, you know, it's neat, and we're happy with the results. So, as usual, the hottest topic, the thing that we usually talk about most, is field. So we'll move on to that. Yeah, I think we feel very good about our field. We feel very good about what we are. Where we are with players. You know, you can hear Billy and Scott talk about the reaction from a lot of guys. We've got a couple teams to announce today. Well, obviously Billy and Scott we know are going to play. We've got a couple of other teams we'll announce, and we're getting good reaction from everybody else. It's been a hot topic on the PGA Tour this year with the schedule change, with the players moving back to March. Every tournament that I've talked to so far, guys have been later to commit than normal. We have a ton of guys that have told me they're going to play, hadn't officially committed, so we can't announce them yet. But week to week, we will have a number of teams that we'll be announcing every week as they become official. And I'm sure we're going to have enough noteworthy teams that we'll have big news every week from now all the way through the tournament. And we've got a lot of guys who have committed individually but hadn't committed with their partner yet. So again, you know, until it all becomes official, I don't like to put anything out there. I don't want a guy to change his mind or have anything happen. But you know, the field last year was incredible. You know, it's been interesting. I mean, one of the things that's been a topic, you know, is how we are very closely trying to align ourselves with international team play, President's Cup, Ryder Cup. We've had a number of teams, Justin Rose and Henrik Stenson have played the last 2 years. They were a regular team at Ryder Cup. Rafa Cabrera and Sergio Garcia were a Ryder Cup team. This year it's interesting, the international team they've had a number of meetings for the President's Cup, and they are looking at ways they can use our event to prep for, their record. They've had their struggles in the international side has in the President's Cup, and they're looking for ways to use this event to prep. And I think they have another meeting this week, and we really look forward to seeing what the results of that look like. I think there are opportunities to test partnerships and do a number of other things, and I think that'll all shake itself out here as we move forward. The two teams that we'll announce today, Adam Scott playing with Jason Day. We're very excited about that. Two former world number ones, two Australians. Adam Scott has never played in New Orleans, so I think that's another testament to the reaction of players and how they feel about our event, how they feel about the city, the time that they're having here. We're excited about that. There's more information on those two guys in the press kit, the press release that you'll get, as well. Tommy Fleetwood and Sergio Garcia. It's interesting. As I've talked to guys, as I've been out, I think we're going to see a number of team changes. It's whether whatever the reason might be, whether it's schedule related, whether it's the two guys didn't mesh like they wanted, the results weren't what they wanted. A number of guys seem to be changing partners, and Tommy Fleetwood finished tied for fourth last year with his partner Chris Paisley, one of his best friends. He's a European Tour member. So he and Sergio played with Rafa Cabrera. I think those two will be another very good team, and we're excited about that. And you can look for a lot of other announcements that'll be coming weekly. We're still in the midst of conversations with a lot of big name guys, and feel very good about where that's all going to go. Last year we had great weather. Unfortunately, we've had to talk about weather in the past. Our last 2 years, we got hit on Sunday, our first year in the team format. Kevin Kisner's chip-in was very exciting. It did cause us to go over to Monday morning, but it added to the story and added to the excitement. So we had 6 good days and got hit a little on Sunday there. Last year we had 7 great days, and we were, the crowds were great. We've got a lot of momentum. We feel very good about where we are. One thing I will say is, with Easter being late, Easter being the day before our tournament starts, we've just had a couple of pro-am teams that have ended up with a schedule conflict, and so we've got a couple of teams to sell. Last year, it was fairly noteworthy. Our Wednesday pro-am, the two pros played together. We're the only event on the PGA Tour where a team of amateurs gets to play with two pros for 18 holes. So that was very interesting. The feedback. They play, both guys will tee off on every hole, both of the pros, I should say, and then we'll alternate from there. So it's a great chance for them to kind of get some strategy in and work on they're not, guys aren't that used to playing alternate shot or foursomes, so it was a chance for them to really get some prep in playing in the foursomes format. And a lot of our amateurs really commented on how interesting it was to get to hear the guys strategize about how they're going to play this shot. What distance do you want me to hit this drive, so I know what kind of shot you want to get in. And you heard Billy and Scott talk about how their strengths and how they play off of one another to make sure they play to each other's strengths. And so we do have a couple of pro-am teams to sell. So if the word goes out, we've got a lot of prospects, but we'd like to get those knocked out. So. From a spectator standpoint, I mean, we've always been very proud of what we do on site. I can comfortably say we have so many of the best players in the world, and for those people who want to come out and watch the best golfers in the world, they certainly get a chance to do that at the Zurich Classic, and they get to do it in a format that's unique to most events. But we still, we continue to do fan enhancements. We want to make sure that we've got something for everyone. For those for whom golf might not be the very first priority. As Billy and Scott said, there is a ton of food on the golf course. We have live music on Saturday and Sunday night. We have our kids zone. We have new food trucks last year. We're new. We'll expand that program. We like to think, we've got a lot of opportunity for people to enjoy. Food-wise, the PGA Tour, and we have a lot of meetings amongst all of the other tournaments. We get reviews about our food unlike any event, and our venues, unlike any event on the PGA Tour. You look at the absolute 19th hole, we have Superior Grill and Superior Seafood food available there. We have the Fidelity Bank Champions Club. We have 8 restaurants there. That's a very, very popular venue. And then we have the Acme Oyster House venue. Acme will be doing lunch here today after we finish the media day. That venue is extremely popular. People have all tried to copy it and really hadn't had success. But one thing that's kind of noteworthy at Acme, we've got some help with some clearing around the venue, and we're going to be able to expand the deck a lot closer to the 17th hole. So the views of golf are, you can see 3 different holes from that venue, but we're going to have an area that goes a lot closer to the 17th green and 17th tee. So I think that's going to be an enhancement for those folks. They're going to be able to see golf a lot better than normal. It's been a fun 3 years. For me, this will be my 8th tournament, but the change to the team format and what that's done for us, what the attention we've gotten, everything from the walk-up music, the increased spectator attendance. Last year we donated more than $2 million to children's charities in the area. We really do feel our membership works very hard on this event and does so many great things. We're very proud of the results. We're heading in a great direction, doing a lot of great things, and we really look forward to another great year. So, with that, I'll open it up to questions, and anybody has anything they'd like to know or ask.
You feel like it's become easier to recruit to the event 3 years in?
I really do. We were always selling the city. We always had a very high-end purse, although I don't think that's, from the years prior to the team format and after, we'll be playing for $7.3 million this year. We found that most players don't even know what the purse is going into the tournament. It's guys like doing something different. It breaks up the year. I mean, if you look starting in the fall to the Tour Championship now that'll end in August, at the end of August, we're kind of in the middle of their schedule. So as Scott and Billy said, and as Darrell asked the question, it kind of breaks up the year where they can do something different. They're playing hard, but not that it's more casual, but it's just more fun because they have the support of a teammate, and they know it's going to be a fun week. And the reaction we've gotten from players has been very, very positive and continues to grow. I mean, there are a lot of, it's nice. I mean, Billy being a 2-time champion, but there are a number of other players, I don't want to say who recruit on our behalf, but I know that they're out there saying great things about the way the players are treated in New Orleans, about how much fun the event is. We're going to see some new names here this year. Beyond Adam Scott, we'll see some guys who've never played New Orleans, or hadn't played in a long time, or never played. So I think the story continues to grow, and we'll continue to have recruiting's definitely easier, that's for sure.
Steve, how were you able to lure Adam Scott?
We chase every big name player every year, so we've talked to him every year. I found it funny. 3 years ago, I caught him at Bay Hill, and in the parking lot. I just happened to be walking, and he walked by me, and I talked about New Orleans. He said, "Oh, I love New Orleans." I said, "Oh, so you come?" He goes, "Yeah, I've come a number of times, and I really love it." "But you've never been for the tournament." So he already loved the city. I think the President's Cup is playing into that. He's been a regular on the President's Cup, and they've had their struggles, and I think we've done more and more to align ourselves with those 2 big international team events. We certainly see ourselves and have talked to players about is there value in testing partnerships and testing the chemistry of how you play, how you play together, and I think that probably played into it. But we've been working on it for a long time, so happy to get him.
Steve, I apologize for asking this question every year, but I'm going to ask it anyhow. Jefferson Parish, how long are you committed out there for the tournament?
Well, I mean, we've got a new contract, and we're committed through 2026. Now, if there is an out, if every party involved in the contract were to try to move, and everyone were to sign off, but we're very happy with TPC. The golf course has been great. The logistics get better and better every year. We know it works. I mean, I would tell you, I think we've got the best operations and TV compound on the PGA Tour. TV would certainly tell you that. They value it. You know, because we have had rain and have tested that. It drains incredibly well when we do have weather. We're very happy at TPC, and you know, I would foresee us being there, you know, for a while. I don't see anything changing.
I know Ed just apologized for asking the same question every year. I know Billy touched on Tiger. Do you ever get tired of people asking about when is Tiger coming here, and is there a realistic possibility of it soon?
You know, it's a good question. We're certainly selling, you know, like Billy said. I mean, for every big name player, and I'm not talking about just Tiger and Phil, but every other guy who's ever been part of Walker Cup, President's Cup, Ryder Cup, it makes sense. And, you know, when you look at the Ryder Cup, where we, you know, I mean, you look at the last Ryder Cup, our pairings, you know, for whatever reason, didn't work as well as they would like. So we continue to talk to guys about the momentum, the positive things players have to say, the opportunity to try to get in some work and test opportunities for President's Cup, Ryder Cup. You know, I mean, we're very hopeful. You know, I mean, everybody listens. It's not, you know, to Ken's earlier question, not that anybody would turn around and walk away 6 years ago when I would come up to talk to them about it. But, you know, sometimes you knew the reaction. There's nobody doing that these days. They want to hear what you're saying. They want to talk about the good things. You know, am I going to sit here and say any of those kind of guys are coming this year or future years? You know, I don't know, but they're certainly listening, and I'm very hopeful. I think, you know, I think we'll continue to get new guys every year, and you know, I think the field will continue to be as good or better. So.
Do you want to tell everybody why the players all came up to you Monday at Pebble Beach this year? Which was the day after a Sunday event in the city?
Oh God, yeah, I can't tell you the number of players who, I mean, before I could say hello, talked about how badly we got screwed on the call. That was the day before. I mean, and even Rory McIlroy, there was a talk about the change of the rules of golf. I saw an article yesterday or day before where he was talking about the rules of golf and the changes and what happened with the Saints. He brought it up, and the number of guys at Pebble that came up to me to talk about it, they knew there was some angst in the city about it and with us, and you know, we'll see what changes, but they certainly recognized it.
Steve, what are the chances of getting Rory, since you mentioned him, because he's been kind of hot lately?
You know, again, we talk to him every year. Based on the conversation so far this year, I think it's unlikely, but you know, as a Ryder Cupper, I think we would stand a better chance next year in a Ryder Cup year. But you know, there's not a player on the PGA. There's not a top 100 player that I haven't talked to and had conversation with. So you know, we're certainly hopeful that he'll choose to join us. I mean, the more closely we can align ourselves with President's Cup, Ryder Cup going forward, the better. And you know, the chemistry. I've talked to past and future Ryder Cup captains and President's Cup captains about the value, and I think everybody sees value in it. And so, you know, why would you not take advantage of an opportunity here? I mean, you're playing for a lot of money. I mean, it might not be Ryder Cup or President's Cup pressure. You're playing for a lot of money. So we hope that we continue to build on that, so it draws some guys that we hadn't seen. Wonderful. I think our air conditioning has been out for a bit, and I'm starting to. So happy to answer questions in the back, but appreciate everybody coming out.
Hey guys, we're going to move.
Thanks very much.